and welcome back to my channel. My name is Teacher Brett and I am here to talk to you about all things virtual teaching, whether that's teaching to kids across the world in China or teaching right here in America using a computer. This is where you can learn all about it. Today, I want to give you an update all about Gogokid. Now, if you're not familiar with Gogokid, this is a company where you can teach from your home on a computer. You can teach kids all the way over in China, typically ages around 4 to 12 years old. It's a great side gig, a great part-time job that you can do. All you need is a bachelor's. You need to have some sort of experience with children. Obviously, you need to have the ability to have a computer and internet connection, and you need to be legally able to work in the US or Canada. So if you meet those qualifications and are interested in working from home, send me an email, check out my website, contact me, and I can help get you through that process. For those of you that are in the middle of the interview process, this is going to be the video that you want to watch right now. There are a lot of videos out there on YouTube talking about the interview process right now. Lots of people have come over from other countries because they've realized how awesome Gogokid is, which is definitely true. However, those videos are already out of date because things change quickly, you will find in the online ESL world. So I want to give you all of the latest information so that you are not surprised when you go into your interview. Are you ready? Get some pen, get some paper, get ready to jot down some notes, and let's go. Okay, so good news is the lesson, still the same lesson. You're going to be teaching the hand and the arm lesson. You'll get those slides when you apply. You'll get the actual lesson that you're going to be teaching. So that's going to stay the same. So you can check out some of my other videos up here or down below in the comments. I'll put the playlist of kind of, walking you through the actual lesson and some things you'll want to do for the lesson. But there are going to be some things different. Now, when you go into your interview after you schedule it and you enter, you are still going to have two options. You may be doing a live interview with an interviewer. So if you go in and there's an interviewer there, it's going to be a live interviewer. You also may end up with a recorded interview. So if you're in your interview and no interviewer shows up, then you're going to do the recorded option. When you enter, you're going to have the slides loaded in the classroom. The first couple of slides are going to give you instructions for if you have to do it as a recorded interview. So while you're waiting, read through those slides, take your time understanding how that recorded interview process is going to work. If you do a live interview, you won't need to worry about the directions. On the live interview, we'll walk you through each of these steps. So that's the basics. Get that out of the way. Let's talk about what has changed. When you go to do your interview, you're going to start off your interview, whether it's live or whether it's recorded, talking about yourself. You're going to let them know your education, your experience, any sort of certifications or qualifications you may have so that they can get all that information. Give them as much information as you have. Present yourself in the best light because this is going to determine your pay. So all of those factors will come into play when they determine what to offer you. The typical offer is somewhere between $7 to $10. I will tell you that most of my people have been getting somewhere around the $8 to $8.50 range currently. That's not to say you won't get offered more or less. Again, that's something that changes frequently with online ESL companies as well. But that's what I've been seeing right now from people on social media and my own referrals, somewhere between the $8, $8.50 area. You also have the opportunity to earn some incentives on top of that. So just because you're offered $8 or $8.50, that's not the only thing you're going to be getting. There's a whole incentive program. You can learn all about that later. I'm not going to go into the details of that now because that is a whole issue in and of itself. But you want to make sure you give them all that information that you can during that talking about yourself phase. Next, you're going to do the actual interview. Make sure you're showing all of the different ESL strategies that they're going to be looking for. Again, I have a video on that that tells you exactly what strategies they're going to be looking for. So make sure that you're showing each of those. Now, what is brand new and different, and you're not going to see in other videos out there right now, is what's going to happen after the actual interview portion. So after the actual lesson, there are going to be a few slides where you're going to demonstrate skills. This is new. I haven't seen this at really anything quite like this at any other companies. So I want you to be prepared when you go in there. As of right now, the first slide that you're going to see is correction. So they are going to give you a scenario and they're going to want to see you correct the student. So you might be correcting pronunciation or, something like that, but you're going to want to see that you can make corrections. So be prepared for that. The second slide that you are going to see here in this part is going to be extension. So they are going to give you a scenario and they're going to want you to show that you can extend it. So they might say something along the lines of, hey, this student already knows the word hand. What else could you do to extend the slide? And you're going to want to provide some sort of extension. Maybe you teach them finger. Maybe you teach them, maybe you count to 5. Maybe you teach them, 2 hands. We add the S. Something where you're giving them some sort of extension. So again, be prepared for that. The next slide they're going to give you is kind of a behavior challenge situation, because we all know that kids do not behave as perfect angels all the time. So they're going to give you a scenario where a student is misbehaving or distracted, and they're going to want to know what you would do to get the student back. So think about that. If a student was off playing a game on the side or playing with their toy, how would you get their attention back? I might pull out some kind of a puppet or do some TPR or have the students stand up and dance or wave their hands or touch their head. Think of some way that you could help the student come back to class and get them engaged again in the classroom. And the last slide is where they are looking for you to be able to make it meaningful for the student, presenting clearly. So this is, we don't want to see a lot of extra talk from the teacher. We want to keep things simple. We want to use TPR and we want to use props. So maybe the student is confusing, foot and hand. How could you help them understand that? You want to be able to pull out a prop or pull out, use some TPR, use simple language. Any of these great skills to help the student understand the meaning. So this is new. These are some extra slides that you're going to see at the end after you do the lesson. If you get into the interview, let us know down below, how did you do? What did you do with these extra slides? People love ideas. I will tell you that you don't want to just copy whatever I said in a video or whatever someone else said in a video, because what happens is, the same people see, the interviewers and the Gogokid sees the same thing over and over and over again. So try and make it your own. Think outside the box. What would you do? These are all great practice for when you get into the classroom, because you are going to see all these scenarios. You're going to see students who aren't behaving. You're going to see students who are confused, even though you're, giving them everything you've got. So how would you handle these? So think about that before going into the interview. I highly suggest hopping into the interview. You can get in there 30 minutes early, go in so that you can go through the slides. I don't want to give you the exact slides and give you the exact scenarios here on the video, because that's Gogokid's information. So go in early. You can flip through all of the slides, so you'll be able to see those presentation slides at the end. So definitely head in early and check those out. If you're one of my referrals, I will give you lots of exclusive information on those slides and how to do those slides and best practices for those slides. So make sure that you have used my referral code. It is here, it's down below. You can use my link or contact me by email so that I can make sure I get you all of my great resources. Once again, thank you guys for joining me. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, share it with a friend, give me a like, hit that little notification bell, subscribe to my channel, all those wonderful things so that I can keep bringing you awesome content. I can talk today. Awesome content each week. I will see you on the next one. In the meantime, get your virtual teach on. Bye.